Dispatch logs confirm it. You brought him in at 2:27 a.m., right after the bar fight on 4th and Maple. The paperwork's solid. Booking form initialed, fingerprints scanned, mugshot snapped. He didn't say much, just sat in the backseat with his head turned to the side like he was listening to something no one else could hear. Quiet, but not in the way drunks usually are. Not that deflated silence of a man who knows he's ruined another night. This was something colder. Intentional, like he'd been waiting for this moment for a long time. You placed him in cell 4. You remember it clearly because you always hated that one. It's the only cell without direct line of sight from the front desk. Poor layout. But the others were full Saturday nights. Don't leave room for preferences. He didn't resist. Walked himself in. Sat down cross-legged on the bench, palms on his knees, facing the far wall. You slid the door shut and it locked with a heavy clang, the kind that should feel final. Safe. That was 93 minutes ago. Now you're watching the monitor, and cell 4 is empty. Not he got up and moved kind of empty. Not camera malfunctioned kind of empty. It's the kind of empty that rewrites history. Because you're rewinding the footage, going back frame by frame, and he's never there. Not once. The moment you close the door, the cell is blank. It shows the bench, the wall, the folded up blanket, but no man, no shadow. Not even the slight pressure on the mattress where he should be sitting. You rewind again. Slower, 32 frames per second. You check the timestamp. You can see yourself backing out of the cell, one hand still on the door. And it's like your posture is reacting to something like you're looking at someone, but the space is completely void. Your partner, Torres, thinks it's a glitch. She leans in over your shoulder and taps the screen like that'll fix something. She jokes that you're probably tired, seeing things should have called out tonight. But then the intercom buzzes. The line from cell 4, you both freeze, and then his voice comes through. Soft, calm, familiar. You're not watching the right angle, he says. Try the reflection. Torres looks at you, confused. You don't answer. You just pull up the backup feed the fisheye dome mounted in the hallway across from the glass window of cell 4. That one only captures a warped view through the reflection. There he is. Not in the cell, but in the window of the cell. Sitting exactly where you left him, but visible only in the glass. The actual cell remains empty. You check another feed. Same result. He exists only in the reflections. Torres starts to laugh a nervous, jittery sound that dies fast. She asks if you're pulling some elaborate prank. You shake your head and pick up the receiver. What's your name? You ask him through the intercom. He doesn't answer right away. Then he says, I gave it to you already. You just forgot where you wrote it down. You check the booking system. The name field is blank. So is the ID number. No prints, no photo, all gone. Not erased. Never there. But you remember entering it all. You remember the ink drying on the page. You can still smell it. You reach for the physical logbook. The pen grooves are there, deep enough to feel, but there's no ink. Just indents of a name your brain refuses to reread, like your eyes keep skipping it by instinct. Torres walks down the hallway to check the cell herself. You warn her not to open the door. She rolls her eyes. The man's voice crackles through the speaker again. She's going to let me out. You reach for your radio to call her back, but the signal's dead. Static. Nothing. You watch her approach on the feed. Cell 4 remains visibly empty. Just 4 walls and that metal bench. She reaches for the handle. You scream into the intercom, into the radio, into the hallway itself. Torres, don't! But she doesn't stop. She opens the door. Nothing happens. At first, the room is empty, just like the feed showed. No sound, no wind, no temperature shift, just blank space. Torres turns to look at the camera, gives a shrug. Then the door slams behind her. Locks. The feed goes black. A full 5 seconds of total static, and when the image returns, the cell is empty again. You switch to the mirror feed, and there she is, sitting in the same cross-legged position. Same blank stare, palms on her knees, but her mouth is moving. You turn the volume up. She's whispering your full name, over and over. You never told her your middle name. You never told anyone. The intercom buzzes again. You forgot something, says the voice. You check the physical logbook one more time. Now there's a second name carved into the paper, but it's yours, written in your own handwriting. And below it, cell 4, reserved. Your fingers hover over the page like they might burn if they touch the ink. But there is no ink, just pressure, carved like a grave marker. You flip through the other pages of the logbook names of drunks, thieves, junkies. Every line fades at the edges, blurred like something melting in heat. But your name stays sharp, etched, the only permanent thing on the whole page. Cell 4, reserved. You call for backup. Not over the radio that's still dead, but your personal cell. It rings once. Then again, then a voice picks up, but it's not dispatch. It's not anyone. It's your voice, repeating everything you just said in your tone, in your cadence, like someone played your own thoughts back to you in real time. Cell 4, reserved. Cell 4, reserved. It hangs up. You stand. The hallway feels longer than it should. You know this building. You've walked it for years. But now the lights flicker in a rhythm that doesn't make sense. They blink too fast at the far end, like they're struggling to keep up with how quickly something's moving just out of frame. You grip your holster as you approach cell 4. The handle is warm. You press your badge to the scanner. Red, light, denied. Again, red, then green. The door clicks. You don't open it. Instead, you look through the glass. The reflection shows your partner still sitting, still whispering. Her mouth never moves out of sync, but you notice her eyes now. They don't blink. Not once. You stare longer, and the longer you do, the more you realize they're not eyes at all. Just flat circles, painted on, like they're part of a costume. Her skin looks rubbery in the reflection, a costume made of her. The real cell is empty. You press the intercom. "What are you?" you ask. Nothing. Then, faintly, a low whisper. "What were you?" The door creaks open on its own. You step inside, because of course you do. What else is left? You call out her name. Once. Twice. The echo sounds wrong. It doesn't bounce. It folds in on itself. The walls feel closer now, like they're breathing around you. You step toward the bench. The door slams shut behind you. Darkness. For a second, you think the lights just cut out. Then you realize it's not that simple. The dark has texture. It's wet. You can smell it, rust and old copper and something sweet behind it, like fruit rotting in the sun. You hold your breath and reach for your flashlight, but your hands aren't moving the way you tell them to. You look down, they're not your hands. They look like yours. Same knuckles, same scars, but the skin is pulled too tight and the fingers twitch before you command them, like they're mimicking your intent, not obeying it. Then, in the pitch, something grabs your wrist. Not hard, gentle, a hand, familiar. It lifts your arm toward the wall. And then you see it, a mirror. Or, no, not quite. It's reflective but not smooth, like a pool of black water frozen just long enough to show your outline. But it's not your outline anymore. It's you, seated, cross-legged, palms on knees, just like he was, just like Torres. You don't remember sitting down. You try to move, but your legs are folded underneath you, numb, useless. Your voice crackles through the intercom, from outside the cell. Cell 4, reserved. Then, footsteps. You lift your head. You're watching through the glass now, through the reflection. The hallway beyond shows a silhouette, someone walking toward the cell. The badge on their belt gleams for just a second in the flickering light. You don't recognize the face. Young, nervous, holding a logbook. They pause at your door. Look inside. Don't see anyone. Just the empty bench. You try to scream, to pound on the walls, to make noise, movement, something, but your body no longer listens. It only mirrors. The real you is gone. Only the reflection remains. The new officer flips the logbook open. Your name is gone, replaced by theirs, and beneath it, Cell 4, reserved. You try not to panic, but you feel it building. That tightness, that scream lodged behind your ribs. You feel your lips move, but no sound comes. Only breath. Only whisper. You don't know how long it's been now. Minutes, hours, years. Time stopped ticking. The walls shift again. You feel another body beside you. The man, the one you brought in. He's sitting across from you now. You don't know how you see him, but you do. His eyes are shut, mouth still. He opens his eyelids slowly, and where his eyes should be, there's only more reflection. You see yourself in him, not just your face, your memories, playing in his stare like old security footage. Your childhood, your first arrest, your last drink, your worst mistake. He leans forward, whispers, "You weren't the first. You won't be the last. But they always come back here, one by one, because they see something they weren't meant to, and then they forget. But not before we remember. You try to look away. You can't. You realize now, he was never the prisoner. You were. You just forgot. Until it was your turn to sit. Until it was your name carved into the page. Until someone else logged you in and saw nothing except an empty cell."